Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new adventure. Today we're coming to you from a very windy and sunny April afternoon, and we're here at a familiar place. This is the abandoned number 2 reservoir that myself and Mike from Out Naturing filmed a few months ago. And we're back here today for a couple of reasons. Number one, we received some viewer feedback as to some of the information and history on this particular reservoir, and we found out there's a third reservoir further up that feeds into this one. Now, this one was dismantled back in the 90s. The water level and spillway used to be right there, the top of that wall. They deconstructed it, allowed the water level to drop to where it is today, but the water level used to be to the tree line, which is a considerable depth compared to now. But we wanted to return to follow the water source up to number 3 reservoir, because as we've seen in this video, when we were here the first time, the journey was just as important as the destination. We got to see some beautiful cascading rapids and waterfalls and beautiful Mother Nature's carpet. And I'm curious to see how the number 3 reservoir looks in comparison. So if you want to check it out, all you have to do is come along with me. It is almost hard to comprehend that the water used to be right there. Essentially, water would be at my feet right here. That is a considerable amount that used to be here, which means this lake that you see here, this body of water, used to extend farther back. When you look at it on Google Maps, you could see how much larger it used to be. So, you know, from the tree line to the water, I would guess is maybe 40, 50 feet. So you could tell, you know, how much deeper it used to be. But this water is really clear, and we are going to return in the summer to do some snorkeling, some wading, get some underwater footage, which would be pretty spectacular. So we will be back here once more, at least once more in the summertime. So once he gets up here, he's down at the bottom of the falls getting his shots. We are going to head on a trail that goes back in that direction. It's going to follow the path of the water source, which essentially feeds it into the number 2 reservoir. But from what we saw on Google Maps, there's a good amount of distance to cover between here and the number 3. But we're going to stick to the source of the water because, as you saw in our number 2 reservoir video, that's where we captured a lot of beautiful scenery, areas of water, cascading waterfalls, Mother Nature's carpet. As you can see, I'm wearing the shirt today. So most likely the journey is going to be just as important as the destination, as I like to say. So in just a moment, we will start making some progress back in that direction. So get on some hiking shoes, bring a bottle of water, maybe throw on some shades, and join us as we head towards the number 3 reservoir. So we are making our way now. We got 2 different ways to go. We're on this, looks like an old access road. There's also another one down here too that goes lower, but it's kind of muddy. So we're gonna walk this one for the time being and see what kind of progress we make. And then we will, if we have to, cut down closer. But we do want to stay close to the water source because it's usually a pretty beautiful path to take, and you never know what you'll find along the way. So we have had some recent rains, so trails are a bit wet. Still some water making its way down, and as you saw, the falls are flowing a bit more heavier and faster than the last time we were here, which makes it look really cool. It's good to see it at different stages. And just like that, we're pretty much already at the back of the reservoir. Now again, back in the day, the water would be very close to right down here. And I'm thinking we may have to try to bushwhack our way down and get back on that trail, because this one, I don't know where it leads to. It's going in the right direction, but it seems like it's further away from the actual water source. So once Mike gets up here, we will converse and keep moving. So a quick update, I did lose Mike. I think he is doing his job of practicing social distancing and staying not 6 feet away, but several hundred feet away. I don't know where he's at. He was doing an intro. Next thing I know, we separated, but I'm gonna make my way down through here, which is some pretty thick brush, to get down to that lower trail, because this one is going up and away and I want to stay down close to the water. So I doubt I'm going to film my way down through that because it's probably going to get snagged on the microphone and everything. But once I get through there safely, I'll pick up from there. So make sure you don't poke your eyes out on the way down. So I successfully climbed down that little embankment there. Didn't poke my eyes out. Here's the other trail, which is really wet and muddy. Finally found Mike. And we're gonna go down here, give you some views behind the reservoir here, the back part of the lake itself. Some pretty cool flowing water and some clean pebbles and stuff like that. Give you just a whole different vantage point from what we've seen before. And then we're gonna somehow follow upstream one way or another. This water essentially is coming from, I believe, the number 3 reservoir, maybe other sources as well, but it is really nice, clean, clear water. I'm gonna see if we could possibly cross somewhere. I'm not sure if we could. You know what stinks is that there's no easy way to cross here. The water is flowing a bit fast and you can't get close to the embankment here without almost sliding in. Even though it's not a big wide mouth, you can't really get a running start here. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to cross here, at least not at this point. But I do want to at least get a bit closer if I could. Finally, I had an advantage over Mike. I spotted that boulder, took a leap of faith, and I made it, just barely. He thought about crossing that. That's like a friggin' toothpick. It'll never hold. But we were walking on the lake bed, essentially, at one point. And just again, to give you reference and perspective, we would be submerged quite deep. You can see the old water line up there. That is roughly 40, 50 feet above my head. Here's a nice little pebble beach here. And you can see the water is, I mean, it's ripply, but it's clear. You can see clear to the bottom. It's really nice. I don't think it gets too deep. If I was to guesstimate in the middle, maybe 10 feet now. But I'm sure you could walk around here and do some snorkeling without an issue. We've got some nice little rapids here. I'll give you guys a few moments of this, and then we're going to continue onwards. So tell me something, do you guys want to see what it looks like underwater? Of course you do. Why else would you be watching? So I'm going to pull out the Osmo Action, put it on my extended monopod. I'm going to get you a little bit of footage here near the rapids and stick it into the lake here. And we should be able to see some pretty cool underwater aquatic footage. So let's do that now. So just wrapped up getting some underwater footage with the Osmo Action. And here's a look with me standing in the lake bed with the spillway over there. It's definitely something you don't get to do every day. Typically you'd be underwater here, but we are gonna pack things up and continue onwards and upwards. So I wanted to give you an update as to what we're coming upon. Right back there where we're looking is where we just were getting the underwater footage. We're making our way back, following the creek here. And look at all these birch trees. They are all bent over. I just noticed it. It's almost like Bigfoot territory or something, but it's like a web of trees. I never saw something like that, and they're all just bent over. There's a fire pit right there, and that's what I spotted first. And then Mike's like, "Well, look at, they're all bent like that." That's pretty cool. If you look upwards, I mean, it's a pretty cool shot right there. But if you guys think that's like from a like straight line winds or what, be curious to know. But we're going to continue, hopefully, and make our way up that way. So there's a pretty good shot looking upstream. There's actually a gorgeous little pool right there. May try to get some footage of that when we get closer. But right in front of us, I spotted it because we're going to cross here. It's this big rock, and it looks like a bunch of scratches. Mike said maybe bear claws or something. Something was crossing here many times, and there's scratch marks on it. So definitely have to keep our eyes out for anything that could potentially be dangerous. But I'm going to do a leap of faith from here, so wish me luck. I don't want to step into that. I don't want to slip on that, so. I'm actually going to have to try to leap for it, that's slippery. And this is why we're going to stick to the water source. This looks incredible. We're going to kind of keep close to it, but we're going to go right here by that big rock. There's a nice little pool there. Maybe we'll get you some underwater footage. So I want to focus on this area right here, that little tiny aerated rapids. I want to get you a close-up shot of that, and maybe we'll throw in the underwater camera again. So here we are. That looks gorgeous. Even got some, it's hard to see, some nature's carpet growing underneath there, some algae. But that's about, I'd say about 3 feet deep. But I'm sure you guys want to see what it looks like underneath, right? So let's check it out. So I did a little bit of stripping here. Had to ditch the hoodie. It's getting pretty warm now. The wind has diminished because we're kind of in between the mountains here. But we're gonna keep going through this maze of bent over, fallen birch trees and keep following the water source. And like I always, show you some highlights along the way. And if you probably already don't know, this is gonna be a longer video. These tend to be, as I like to try to make them, like a full adventure. That way you're not missing out on anything. But I don't want to overdo it and show too much, but anything that's really worth interest, whether it's a cascading waterfall, something weird and bizarre in the woods, or even the reservoir itself, I'll definitely make sure to share those with you. Watch your head. Ugh. Mike's over here getting some footage of the rapids here, so check in with him, and then we'll continue onwards. It's very easy to get distracted here though, but it's worth it. Oh yeah, so I got something else to show you too. We got a confluence here. Two different streams are meeting into one. So I'll show you that next. That's actually really beautiful. Now this, I believe, comes off the mountain. I don't think this comes from the reservoir. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure this is not the source of the reservoir. And we may confirm that later on. But there is some nice patches of Mother Nature's carpet, some little rapids and cascading falls. But we need to cross somewhere and continue onwards. There's a nice little throw rug. So we're continuing along the stream here. It's getting pretty thick. You can see getting a bit more lush, but in front of us is a really cool spot. People have been here before. I see some planks of wood nailed to a tree, maybe a tree house or a hunting stand. But we have a little hill to ascend right in front of us. We're going to follow Mike and show you what it looks like from up on top of here. Maybe spend a little bit of time investigating this area. But it's pretty neat though, the terrain. You know what, just for the heck of it, let's bring this to life. That looks a little bit more warmer and inviting, especially as we show the lush leaves and the carpet. But we're going to try to get our way down there because it looks pretty inviting. So let's cut back to reality and hopefully not kill ourselves on the way down. Okay, I took the less difficult route. Mike's filming some trees over there. And let me get down all the way. Okay. Now that's what I saw there. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. See the planks of wood there for a type of tree stand, tree fort. I really don't know what it is, but it's a nice little area here. Very shady, very secluded, very peaceful looking. And it looks even better as we go up. And I'm pretty certain this is going to take us to the reservoir. I checked on Google Maps. We are covering some distance. We're more than halfway there. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share this environment, this landscape, and nature's artwork with you. So I'm gonna get some different shots here, do a little bit of walking, do a little bit of observing, and keep going. So I got way more footage than I probably need. Not sure if I'll use all of it, but there's just so much to capture here with still photos, slow motion, regular footage, and now we're gonna go through this really thick, green, luscious area. Oh yeah, it gets really nice right there. Zoom in and show you. Nice little cascading falls. That's what I love the most. Let's get a closer look at that. Oh, that's a nice little pool right there.
Looks like a deep pool here.
I think that's worthy of some underwater footage. Let's get a good position. We'll stick the camera in. So just a quick update, we came to a bridge here. It's seen better days, but still crossable, but look what we found right in front of it here. 827.19, it's pretty sure that's QT. There's no room for the QT, but that is the writing, and it's painted by brush, but there's actually more. I'm actually using a handheld right now. And look at right here, 518 with the smiley face. I'm gonna zoom in to show you. So QT has been here, and he's here again. There he is. He knew we were coming here. He's sneaky. But the cool thing is underneath this bridge is a nice, really fast flowing run that goes way up there, which is going to be featured in a separate video. But below it, underneath the bridge here, which we'll probably get some footage later, is a really deep swimming hole. I'm going to zoom out. Right there, it's probably 6 to 8 feet deep. It's a little murky because the quads just passed by up ahead, stirred up the silt. But we're going to come back later, probably get some underwater footage. That is a gorgeous swimming hole. Would love to return to that as well. But the rest of the bridge is out here. We're going to have to stop on the beam to get across. And we're going to continue on that ways. We're very close to the reservoir. All right, so after covering some considerable distance and getting sidetracked about a dozen times, finally reached our destination. We're just taking a little break here on the hillside. And as I pan over, you hear the beep in the horn? Yeah. We reached the reservoir. This is the number 3 reservoir, which feeds into number 2. This one has a considerable amount of water. And as you can see in the distance, we're not alone. There are people on the other side on the shoreline. Also some ATVers across there by the spillway, which we're going to head over that direction and just show you what it looks like here. But it's a pretty big open spot, super windy. We're right outside of an industrial park business area, but we're going to walk around here, get some still shots, get some footage, show you what it looks like. This one actually is kind of boring compared to the number 2 abandoned one, just because there's no big spillway here, no dam walls, no pump house. It's more or less just a big body of water. Not to say that there's nothing really to see here. There might be farther over, but from first glance, it's nothing impressive. But at least we kind of got a better understanding as to how the whole area here is set up with the water flow, with the former reservoirs, 3, 2, 1, cascading down the mountainside. And as far as I know, there's nothing else up here past this one. So we're gonna make our way around, get some footage, share our thoughts. And we did see a little bit of a tiny rapids working its way down below here, which we'll probably use that to wrap up the video towards the end. But if you haven't already done so, make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you are enjoying this adventure. And don't forget to check down below in the description for a link to Mike's channel, where you can see all his footage. And even though we're here at the same location, between both of our videos, you'll see completely different things, which makes it worthwhile because you never know what we're going to capture in our videos. So in a moment, we'll get moving again and check it out. So I'll see you in 2 and 2, like Chuck Woolery. So here we are at the water's edge. I'm going to slowly tilt up and show you. This one's a decent sized body of water. Definitely bigger and deeper than the number 2, and it is at the appropriate level here. You can see that it is not dropped off much at all. Over there along the shoreline, there's a beaver home. There's a trail that goes around that way, which we may or may not take. We do got people over there, people over there. We're supposed to be social distancing, and everyone's coming to this spot. Like, unreal. It's like we're trying to stay away from people, and everyone's coming here. But it is a pretty nice location. It'd probably look much better in the summertime with everything growth, with the leaves growing in. I'm going to snap a couple of photos here and we're going to continue on. Don't plan on coming swimming here. I'd rather stick to the number 2 one. But I'm trying to decide which way to go. I don't know if I want to go that way or that way. Maybe we'll take a walk over there. I'll show you that beaver hut, and then we're going to go over here, which is a type of spillway, and then we're probably going to work our way down the spillway to check out a couple little falls and rapids, and from there probably wrap things up. But I'll see you over there at the beaver hut, and if we're lucky, there may be some beaver nuts. That's an inside joke. If you haven't seen that video, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but those of you that do, hopefully they give you a smile.
Run.
So here is the beaver's home. Big pile of sticks here. Not sure if he's home. I don't want to disturb him either, but you don't always get to see these up close. They definitely are hard workers, I will say that, despite some of the damage they do to the wildlife and stuff like that. Not so much wildlife, but the environment with the trees. They are effective workers. Is there a shoe here? Yeah. It's a floating shoe. And a green piece of wood. I don't even want to walk on top of there because typically they're hollow underneath. They live inside of there. I don't want to crush it or sink in or disturb it. So yeah, we're gonna get back and walk along that little pathway there and get over to the other side, check out where the water is spilling over. I don't know further back where this goes to. Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't. But for the time being, I'm going to focus on the front half of it. So speaking of beavers, you can see this is some of their work right here. All along this shoreline, they've pretty much taken down all the trees. So like I said, they do have some effects for building their dams and their homes of killing the trees here, but not much you can do about it. But we're going to continue walking this, and I will pick up on the other end of it. Got Mike making his way back there. Really windy here though. Hopefully the microphone's doing its job. I'm sure you could tell the wind is really whipping. My hair is going crazy here. So we reached the other side. This is the far corner of it. As you can see behind me, there are some people here as a family kind of checking it out. There's not really an official spillway here. It's more or less like a little makeshift dam. It's pretty shallow, you know, it kind of gets deeper as you go, obviously. Shallows out here, and it's kind of cascading its way down, which we're probably going to follow down back to that bridge that we showed earlier. But definitely a pretty featureless reservoir here. No official spillway or dam or anything like that. So I'll just give you a brief look here what it looks like. We may take a little walk over on the shoreline there, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot to see here. It's more or less just a big open area. There is a business up there. I believe that's a healthcare call center. So at least they have a decent view, but otherwise, I much rather prefer the number 2 reservoir. If you guys had a choice though, if you were able to go hang out at one of 2 reservoirs, would you pick this one, number 3, or where we started in our previous video for number 2? And if so, tell me your thoughts why. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is beaver work here that created this little dam. It's not really holding back a whole lot of water, but enough to, you know, keep back some of the force. But it makes its way down. Probably look much nicer in summertime when all this is grown in nice and green. And all these trees here are all signs of beaver action here. This is a little crossing area for ATVs, looks like. And that's probably how we're going to cross, or at least try to get our way down there. But before we do that, I'm going to show you that other little beachy area straight ahead on the other side, and then we'll make our way back. Gotta say, this beaver was determined and probably taking steroids. That is a gargantuan tree he took down. Yeah, that's determination right there. Didn't quite make its mark, but just to show you, I mean, that's a good size tree trunk, and it is super windy. Wow, good day to fly a kite. Without a doubt, this is a popular spot with all the worn out areas here from people coming, ATVs, probably people camping, hanging out. Got a little rocky beach area here. Wouldn't be surprised if they do swimming here. We're just gonna take just a quick look to see what it looks like from a local's perspective. And then we're gonna head back down stream to that bridge and get some underwater footage, hopefully, of that deep pool. But now, officially, we know this is what feeds into the number 2 reservoir. This and a little mountainside stream. So there's 2 sources, but this is the primary source. Yeah, this is definitely a huge party spot here. Relatively in decent condition. There is some trash here and there, some beer cans. But overall, man, that wind, sorry, it's blowing the phone even. Overall, it's not bad. They have been doing a decent job of keeping it relatively clean. This is a great little spot here. Not sure if you could go fishing here or if there's even fish in here. Oh, but yeah, this is really deep here. It kind of drops off. There's a rocky ledge there and it goes deep. May or may not stick the underwater camera in there. Not sure how far we'll be able to see. It's not super crystal clear water, but it may be worth checking out. And the trail goes along. It looks like it turns out to a type of creek there that feeds into this. So it's a pretty big area, you know. If it wasn't windy, it'd be a nice calm day. It'd probably be that much more better. But can't choose Mother Nature's conditions. Just got to roll with the punches. But I am perplexed to see. I'm debating if I should stick the camera in there or not. I might as well. We're here, and that's what I brought it for. So I'm gonna set myself on this little stoop here, and we'll take a peek inside. Maybe it'll be something cool to see. So just a quick update, we are now leaving the number 3 reservoir. It's right up there. We're following this little trail here that comes down alongside the creek, as Mike likes to call the crick. We're going to follow it down, and I believe somewhere down here there are some nice little waterfalls that we're going to check out really quick. And then we're going to finally reach our final return point, which is that little bridge that we crossed where we saw the QT markings. I'm going to try to get some underwater footage of the pool there. And then after that, we will indeed wrap up the video from there. And then we'll be starting a new video, which you'll have to watch separately, of course, which will start at that same point. But let's finish this one up first before we jump ahead.
Sure we don't twist an ankle or...
Just want to admire how things grow and possible locations. It's a big, massive boulder, and look at the tree. It's pretty much growing right on top of it. And of course, some beautiful, slightly damp nature's carpet. Not the best quality I've seen, but doable. But amazing how things grow like that. And it's sustaining, you know, it's surviving. Pretty amazing. Here's a nice little pool area here, not too deep, maybe 2 feet. But there is the nice cascading rapids. I'm gonna try to get you a better view of that. So I'm forced to do something I typically don't do myself, is to cross a tree. Especially when the tree is smaller than I am, but we need to get to the other side. So let's hope for the best, expect the worst. I feel like Pee Wee Herman. The gazelle. There we got a nice close-up shot of the different terraces, different levels of the falls. I'm gonna do my best to slowly zoom out. I know it's not fantastic quality here, but that's what I see right now. It is a pretty gorgeous area. That's a nice, almost like a like you would see like a landscaper's waterfall. They usually construct them to look like that, so pretty nice though. So I'm sure you can hear the rushing water. That means we have arrived. We're back at the bridge. And what I'm going to do now is set you guys on the bridge, give you a view downstream. And I'm going to go down there and get some underwater footage. Yeah, there's a really deep, crystal clear pool. And I want to see, as much as you do, what it looks like under the water. So let's do that next. I don't know if you can see me on camera.
Yep.
Gonna go old school and go handheld with this outro here, but We are going to wrap things up here. That's the bridge right there. Got some incredible underwater footage. Definitely a spot I'd love to return to and go swimming. If it wasn't so cold today, the water wasn't freezing, I would easily unrobe and go in there and get refreshed. It is unlike other places I've seen. It's just, these places just keep topping each other one after another. But I hope you enjoyed the footage we were able to provide for you today of reservoir number 3. That one does not look abandoned. It is completely full of water. But of the two, it's my least favorite. But as I asked you, comment down below. Let me know which one you enjoyed more. Number 2 where we started the video, or number 3 where we ended. And without a doubt, number 2 we will be returning to in the summer to do some pretty cool, fun things. 100% I'm going to be returning to do some snorkeling, underwater footage, maybe some lounging on a lazy raft or something like that. But as for today though, I had a great time. Got a lot of cool shots, a lot of Mother Nature's carpet. And I want to thank Mike for joining me today. We have a great time in these locations. He loves the waterfalls. I love the moss. I love the carpet, you know, as I call it. I love to see the reservoirs and just experience it as a whole. It's a great day to just do your best to social distance from others, enjoy what nature has to offer, and make a great day out of it. So if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for you, please share your support by giving a thumbs up. Tell your friends and family about my channel. If it's your first time here, I definitely encourage you to subscribe. Check out my playlist, and if you like what you see, ring that notification bell. And when you do, make sure you choose all. That way you'll get alerted each time I upload a new video or do one of my random live streams. With that said, I want to thank you so very much for joining me today. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.